revolution is a nice word. It also means turning around, turning upside down, and it has a kind of a, let's say, an hypnotic effect on the mind. It's a revolution, you know. It's something that you say, and it turned around on itself. We're back where we started. That's not the kind of revolution we need in the US, or I would say you would need in the US, because I'm not in the US, I'm in Holland. You need revolt. You need somebody just throwing a wrench in the system. And I can explain why, because I listened to the Young Turks, and they were talking about how Obama gave up the public option in order to ensure that there's campaign funding for the next election for the Democrats. And otherwise the threat was, of course, that funding would go to the Republicans. So you see that the campaign funding, which is very expensive to fund your political campaign these days, because it's allowed to be expensive, leads to complete control by the corporations of the political parties. And therefore it leads to only changes in the law that are positive, that are more exploitative for the corporations. And it leads to prohibition or the stopping of any change in the law that would be hard on the corporations. So if, and you can see proof there, if the public option is left out of the healthcare bill, then you could still vote for it, of course, because it has a number of changes that are positive, like not taking notice of pre-existing conditions. But you can then see that some politicians will say, okay, it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. It's not good enough. Let's not vote at all. Let's just reject it. And those people will probably also be paid, or be promised to be paid, by the pharmaceutical companies to help with their political campaign in the next election. And it's a nice trick, you know. If it's not perfect, then drop it. No. You have to do what you can. It's small steps. That's politics, or that's getting things done in any way. But you know that you cannot elect any. First of all, you cannot elect anybody to trust that he will do what he says during the election. And the proof here is Obama. He's not doing what he's saying during the election. There's no way to go against the wishes of the corporations, because they control everything. They pay basically for who gets in office. They determine who gets in office. So the consequence is, of course, that you can never vote for anybody to reform this system. And you also know that nobody wants to reform this system, because they're all dependent on it. This is like the prisoner's dilemma, and it's very easy. You have Republicans and Democrats. They will never cooperate. They are thirsty for each other's blood. So there will never be a comprehensive that's a campaign funds reform that will block this weakness. See, so you cannot elect anybody to change this, and meanwhile you are at the hands of the corporations. So the only option you have is to go beyond, or past, or underneath, or above, or over the existing system, and that is to revolt.